Hey friends, it's Chris. Today I had an opportunity to get away from my desk and join a whole bunch of people working together to plant trees at the Danthonia Bruderhof community. If you've been around our channel for a while, you'll know that Norann and I are quite passionate, as is everybody here at Danthonia, for the care of the landscape, the beautification of this amazing property we get to call home, and for also helping see that through working with nature, this place improves and is left in better shape than we found it for future generations. So today we're going out in the paddock with a whole bunch of people to plant trees, and we're inviting you to come along and have a look at that.
First pull every time, baby. This is for my great-grandchildren.
What are you planting?
This is an evergreen.
An evergreen forest?
With each tree we say, "Run, forest, run."
Nice. Hey folks, I'm standing out in the paddock in the middle of a tree planting project with my friend Richard Barth. He's also known around here as the man who planted trees, or wishes he had planted more trees and things like that. So Rich, tell us a little bit about what we're doing and why we're doing it.
So we are choosing various parts around our property to plant trees, focusing on places where it's easy access and where we think the trees will have the most impact on nature and tree corridors, and where it's also easy for fencing and that kind of thing. This is one of about 5 that we're going to do. The next one will be quite large, 1,500 trees minimum. Today we're 500 trees. We have close to 100 people working here, which is really great. The whole community is here working together. We're planting oak, pines, radiatas, a few sweet chestnuts, which hopefully we can eat one day. There's a few alder that take in the wet soil, and we don't want to get too many varieties going, because we've noticed in past droughts, interestingly enough, that the trees that do not survive the droughts are the native trees. So deciduous trees drop their leaves in the drought and they shut down, where the eucalypts try to keep going and then die off. At least that's what we noticed on this property. We've had some very interesting experiences on other properties where we've seen people create beautiful tree corridors for wildlife, for cattle to go under, and amazing growth of grass and anything else underneath, which all nature enjoys.
We've done a video a while back showing some of the tree corridors that we planted, gosh, more than 15 years ago now, and how those now have been opened up and the cattle are grazing among the trees. What do you figure when you plant trees like you're doing today, how many years before you can actually let livestock into this area?
It will probably be a good 10 years, 10 to 12 years. We've found that nothing grows very well here. It takes a lot of effort, watering and guarding, re-guarding, and mowing in between the trees. But eventually it does come off all around. There's trees. One could almost say that all these trees have been planted by us, apart from a few large eucalypts.
Right. Are you what they call a stakeholder in this project? Get it?
Exactly.
See what I did there?
Okay, so all day, every day.
How do you feel about that?
There's a lot of fulfillment that I get from this. You know, I have a green hat just to show that I have a green thumb, but you can't quite see it at the moment.
You should do that one more time with feeling.
Please cut it. I'm so bad.
So beyond just the beauty and the, like you say, the contribution to the soil health with the leaf matter and so forth, what are trees doing for our property, and what would you say in the time you've lived here over 20 years yourself? So what have you noticed since all these plantings have begun?
So what we've noticed over the last 10, 15 years, especially after the trees are growing that we put in, is a huge jump in species of wildlife. We used to have around 125 native birds, I believe. Now we're up to 175, or maybe over 200. And of course the wildlife, the roos, but even more, the whole property is much more vibrant. You can go out at night and you can hear the frogs in the dams. You can see more snakes, which most of us don't enjoy, but that can't be helped. Mostly it gives a nice feel of the property. The soil, the air, everything feels more damp. On cold nights it stays a little bit warmer around the tree belts and the tree coppices that we'll put in. The temperature will just be a degree or two warmer, so you won't have these harsh frosts, especially in the valleys. things survive a lot better. And as far as what we'd aim for, we could put in easy 30% trees on a property, so it's a large amount of acreage, and that would be a positive impact.
What would that do though for the grazing capacity on the farm?
It would increase it. So
That's counterintuitive. You're saying if you add trees, you end up with more grazing land?
correctly, because with the growth, there's water cycles between the ground and the tree. The water moves up through the tree. It also, fine water particles move from the ground up into the tree and back down at night. And there's a lot more moisture around, and that creates more growth of grass and whatever other things are growing.
And how long will you and I have to live in order to actually see the benefits of that?
Well, I will be
200 years?
90 years. I would wish I'd get to that ripe old age. We'll see.
Well, the way you're going, Rich, you probably will. Thank you for all the work you're doing, and thanks for taking time away from the work to have a chat about it. I understand when all this is said and done, we're going to celebrate together. Is that true?
Absolutely. Got to end each Friday with a beer.
Okay, there you go. Thanks, Rich. See you later, folks.